Yo everybody, what's going on? This is Roush, and this time I got a little post-commentary kind of thing for this match versus draw, going back and looking at my original footage for when I first did this battle. I royally screwed up. I really didn't provide anything much in the way of good quality, like a good quality footage, so that hopefully I can make up with this a little bit. This wasn't a good match, but I do want to talk about it a little bit. So as you can see, my team versus his team: Zygarde 50%, Alakazam, Roserade, Mega Scizor, Uxie, and Electivire. A lot of these mons I'm really excited to see. When he led off with Scizor, it was really good for me. I really appreciated it because I was Manectric, and I wanted to just go straight for the overheat right here, especially because if he was predicting a Volt Switch and he went straight out into his Electivire, I was able to, or sorry, a Flamethrower, I forgot. Wrong set, wrong week. I was able to get off some solid damage with Specs Flamethrower. And I just went right out into Flygon, predicting the Earthquake from a potential Scarf Electivire. And this is my kind of physically defensive, speedy Flygon. And I think I just went straight for the U-turn, right? Or did I go for the Earthquake? Yeah, I just went straight for the U-turn, not really wanting to predict too much. And this Uxie, the combination of Uxie and Alakazam really puts a lot of pressure on my team, especially because I didn't bring Pangoro. And of course my team is very Psychic weak, and I played a little too cautiously. Uxie is a very bulky mon. I would have done best to just go for the Volt Switch or the Thunderbolt just to get more damage off as he sets up Stealth Rocks, but in the end I just didn't. And then I felt like Flygon was my best opportunity to take on this Uxie. And as he switches out into his Zygarde, I don't have Outrage, I don't have the Dragon move. It's very threatening to me, so yeah. Oh, he switches out into Uxie, trying to take like that Dragon move. If I locked myself into Outrage, Uxie was just a good middle ground play because it had already set up his Stealth Rocks. I don't know what kind of set this Uxie was running completely. This is pretty much the most that I got to see off of it. Was that it had Stealth Rock and whatchamacallit? Stealth Rock and Leftovers. And I know this is an offensive Mega Scizor just due to how much damage Shadow Ball was doing, and this does pose a huge threat to my team. So predicting a Bullet Punch, I go out into my Flygon, and again I do have the Fire Punch. As you can see, that Bullet Punch does a heck of a lot, so it's a fully offensive invest Mega Scizor, and it is scary. But I do have the Fire Punch, so I think I just go for it right here, not really fearing much on Draw's team. Now, I do have a lot of speed investment, and I should be able to outspeed the Roserade because I think I was trying to outspeed base 95 and Roserade is base 90, and a Fire Punch does turn out to be a 2-hit KO. He goes out into his Uxie as I Earthquake? Well, that wasn't a smart play at all. Fire Punch was definitely the better play, because Fire Punch just did more things except for Zygarde. At this point, he doesn't know what my last move is, so it could be Earthquake, it could be Outrage, it could be Dragon Claw. So I probably should have just played off of that instead of showing Earthquake right there. All right, well, let's see. He goes for the U-turn himself. Now this is Specs Manectric, so I don't outspeed Alakazam. My thought was, yeah, I'll sack it off and figure out what kind of set he is. At this point, I'm thinking he is Life Orb. Yes, at this point, I'm thinking he's Life Orb. But it turns out that he's not, and we'll figure that out later. So I do have Died. I do have my my Frostlass, which is Scarfed, and Shadow Ball once again is a 2-hit KO on that Roserade. So it turns out that this set really did a number to the team that Draw brought, especially because I get the Shadow Ball special defense drop here, but I do die to a Bullet Punch. So I have to switch out, and I decide to go out into my Black Sludge Amoonguss. With the Hidden Power Fire, and this thing is actually, it's dead meat to Zygarde, so if he just brought out Zygarde there, it would have been just absolutely devastating. I went for the Spore, trying to get that Zygarde upon switch in, not really thinking about the Roserade. If I had gone for the HP Fire, I might have been in a better situation, but Draw is just winning these 50-50s, and as you can see, this Hidden Power Fire here, it does 22%, so I wouldn't have been able to kill it anyway. So Roserade was just a good no drawback play on his part. Extra Sensory doesn't take me out. I believe that's supposed to be there for Surprise Blaziken, or just to take out the Amoonguss. So Draw's prep is looking absolutely amazing, and of course my team, as I said, is really weak to Psychic outside of well, it's just really weak to Psychic Spam, because my only excuse me, I have 2 resistances to Psychic. One is Pangoro, which is immune, and the other is Latias, which I could have brought this week, but I just felt like Flygon was a lot more useful, because it could take Mega Scizor on a little bit better. But I don't know. I'm going to have another chance at Draw next time. Getting the crit there kind of mattered, because otherwise Roserade just stands there and doesn't, like, we're in a stall war, and eventually it whittles me down to the point where I believe Draw wins that match. But at this point, Flygon is low enough that Alakazam can just take it out with what turns out to be Choice Specs Psychic. And at this point, my only priority is Frostlass, which is the only thing that outspeeds the Alakazam. Unfortunately, oh yeah, I do have Quagsire, which can live a hit. And I don't know if he just didn't have Energy Ball or what. I don't know. I think I still had a shot. My play should have been to attack with Quagsire, because it's the only thing on my team that could take a hit. I think I was trying to scout for the Life Orb Energy Ball, and then when he didn't reveal it there, I felt confident. For some reason, I didn't think that he would be able to 2-hit KO me, so I just try and go for a Curse. That's a really big misplay on my part, because this match could have turned out differently, and I'm going to go ahead and explain it right here. Alakazam just ends up finishing the rest of my team. If I had gotten Earthquake damage off on Alakazam, Frostlass KO'd with Shadow Ball, okay? If I'd got off prior damage, and Alakazam wouldn't have been able to finish off my team. Now, if that Shadow Ball had killed Alakazam, if I had gotten a crit, my play was actually to crit at that point. But if I killed Alakazam there, I would have had Frostlass and Blaziken left. Oh shoot, what would have been? I had Grassium Z. It's like Grassium Z, Solar Beam, HP Ice, and Fire Blast and Agility. So Scizor would have had to come in to kill off Frostlass, okay? Scizor kills off Frostlass, so now I have Blaziken. Now, I would have been able to set up an Agility with Blaziken right there. I might have been able to take out Uxie. I might have been able, if I had gotten a crit on Zygarde, I would have been able to kill it. And then I would have been able to live with last mon Blaziken. However, I did do that crucial misplay by not attacking with my Quagsire, and I'm not going to say that it cost me the game, because I would have had to crit Zygarde anyway. I'm just going to do a quick calc here. Let me quick pull this up. So let's see, calc. Blaziken. Zygarde. if he was, let's pretend, offensive Dragon Dance. So Blaziken with the modest Ice, Solar Beam, Fire Blast. Yeah, I would have had to crit. Yeah, I would have had to crit HP Ice in order to win at that point. Yeah, because it does 75 to 89% to Zygarde. So I would have had to crit anyway. So either way, that just ends up being the match. Let's go ahead, just finish it up, just to show you. The Psychic does end up taking me out. Now, I'm barely certain that was Specs Kazam. It could have been Life Orb. You know what? Screw it. Let's just double check and see the calc. Alakazam, Life Orb versus Quagsire, which is what do. And let's see, Psychic, Life Orb, Psychic. Oh, that couldn't have been Specs. What? What was that? Was that Focus Sash? No. No. Focus Sash. That had to have been Focus Sash. What? That's bizarre. I have no idea what kind of set he was then. Alright, so I guess he wasn't Specs after all. Specs Psychic killed. Huh, whatever. Anyways, the match just ends up finishing up right there. So nothing. There was very little that I could do. So next time I face Draw, because I do have to face him later on in the season because we're interdivision. I really have to make sure that I'm better prepped. Now the other thing that I noticed after the battle, and I think I mentioned this. In one other video. I don't remember. I'm doing videos out of order at this point. But one of the things that I mentioned is Zygarde actually, its Aura Break, kind of stops Quagsire's Unaware. So it turns out that, well, that really didn't do anything for me. So next time I might just have to bring Water Absorb. Oh well, I goofed on that. It's my bad. Something that I just need to make sure for next time. I forgot all about Aura Break, which is Mold Breaker. So whatever. I'll get him next time. I'll see what I could do better. Analyze this a little bit better. Anyways, thank you all so much for watching. This wasn't the most fun match to play, but you know what? There's a lot to be learned. And I'll see y'all next week versus Dazzle.